It's my great pleasure to introduce to you the spiritual hope and energy behind I Am Waters, Miss Elena Davis.
I have good news. My 6-week diet and exercise regime is over. As of tonight, I'm going home and feeding my carrot and celery sticks to the squirrels. Over the recent past, as I've made my way to more social outings, there have been some that have been surprised to see me. Some thought we had moved back to Los Angeles. It's been so long. But no way, because I love Texas way too much. I understand the surprise, though, because it's been nearly 4 years since I've been seen with any regularity. So today, at I Am Waters' inaugural luncheon, it provides me with the perfect opportunity to share with you all why I disappeared and what I've been up to. I'd like to start with sharing 3 facts about myself in chronological order. Fact 1. I'm one of 4 kids raised by a single mother who spent most of her early childhood in an orphanage home. The 5 of us survived on $3,000 a year in food stamps. We led a very transient lifestyle, moving every year. By the time I dropped out in the 8th grade, I'd already been to 12 schools in 12 cities. We bought our clothes at the Salvation Army and the Goodwill and made many a move in the dark of night off to the next town or city. I understand firsthand that living life on the margins of society is filled with deprivation, struggle, and the emotional pain of being a nobody to everybody. Due to the stress and constant disruption from moving, I failed school. Fortunately, I had a voracious appetite for reading, and books enabled me to educate myself. I continued going to school for as long as I did, all the way up to the 8th grade, for 2 reasons. The first was for the free meal, and the second was to see my friend the flag and pledge my allegiance to the United States of America. I didn't have most of what I needed growing up, but I did have one very, very important thing going for me. I was born in the greatest country in the world. If I had nothing else, I knew that I was blessed to be born an American. Fact 2. At the age of 16 years old, I became an international model, which enabled me to help my family and myself out of poverty and into stability. Through a series of events, I was introduced to an agent and ended up moving to Paris, France. I had no idea where on the planet Paris, France was, but the wheels of fate opened a door for me and I walked through it. I worked constantly from the second day I arrived, and then at the age of 18, I moved to New York City to work for the Ford agency. I worked continuously, had a wonderful 15-year career, and today I am married to my wonderful husband, Greg, and I am mother and stepmother to 5 beautiful children. Fact 3. To answer the question of where I disappeared to, I've returned to my roots, my first home, the streets, and have built an organization by the name of I Am Waters Foundation. I Am Waters Foundation is an organization that delivers physical and spiritual hydration to America's homeless through our special branded bottles of water with words inscribed on them. Words such as love, hope, dream, and peace. Many of you may not know the American homeless do not have access to safe, clean drinking water. And we're the only organization in the United States addressing this issue with our unique solve. Additionally, we photograph the homeless to bring a human face to who the real homeless are. 43% are families, and that's whole families, mom, dad, kids, and the dog in tow, single mothers with children, and single fathers with children. The average age of the 1.65 million homeless children in the United States is 6 years old. We have 1 million homeless children in our public school system, and 1 out of every 5 homeless are veterans. You may be asking yourself why and how can anyone in a country like the United States not have access to clean, safe drinking water? When you're homeless, and you've been homeless long enough, you don't get to have the key to the gas station bathroom. You can't just walk into an establishment asking for water. And if you try to access a spigot, they're on private property and you're trespassing. 40% of the homeless don't come into the shelter system. Many homeless live in their cars, vans, tents, none of which offer plumbing or running water. And the shelters don't have funds allocated for water, and if you've noticed, water fountains have become obsolete. Research. The world wants hard data on the effectiveness of our program, and for that reason, we work with Professor William Roy, and I'm very proud to say that Professor Roy is here with us today. We survey the individuals who receive our water and the shelters who facilitate the distribution. I mean, we've measured and quantified our effectiveness, and we've published a report on this, and that can be read on our website or downloaded off of our website. This summer, I Am Waters will deliver 600,000 bottles of water to 3 Texas cities with an expansion to New Orleans. We deliver bottles of water through qualified 501c3 homeless shelters and homeless service care providers. I Am Waters is the first resource of its kind to the homeless and the shelters alike. And we've rapidly become the first line of defense in heat-related injuries and reduction over the hottest parts of the summer. Our shelters range from the Search to the Star of Hope, Goodwill, Salvation Army, U.S. Vets, and approximately 13 others. So and all of the shelters use the water in various ways. So the Star of Hope, for instance, they hand it out as their homeless clients exit one of their 3 shelter campuses in the morning. And they also use it on their Love in Action van. I've taken many a ride on the van with Charles and have seen crowds gathering for the water with the message on it. And it turns out that the word on the bottle seems to be more important than the actual water. HPD, Homeless Outreach Team, they carry it in their squad van. The Palmer Way Station hands it out in the morning after breakfast. Healthcare for the homeless distributes it to their patients so their patients can take their medicine. Prior to receiving I Am Water's bottled water, Healthcare for the homeless used urine specimen cups so they could let their patients take their medicine, and that's what they used to hold the water with, was urine specimen cups. Moms from the Mission of Yahweh, they share with us that they use the water while riding the bus with their babies. They use it to mix it with baby powder formula, and they leave a little bit at the bottom for themselves, but most important is they hang on to the bottle with the word on it so they can focus on the inspirational message, and it helps them stay focused and positive and finding housing and jobs and such. So back to the 3 facts and how they're inextricably intertwined. Fact 1. I personally know how hard it is to maintain hope and self-worth growing up on the margins of society, invisible, falling through the cracks with never enough to eat. I know that having hope is as important, if not more so, than having the physical means to overcome a bad situation. Fact 2. Being a model was an amazing experience, and being perceived as beautiful is lovely. But you are simultaneously perceived as not quite human, just a pretty face, without a voice, feelings, intelligence, or even a life. The homeless, like models, don't have a voice, and they don't even have a face in society, and many question whether they can ever become valued, productive citizens again. Fact 3. Homelessness does not have to be a permanent station in life. I know the folks that we serve can become productive citizens. We need our American homeless to regain stability, work, and housing so they can contribute to their personal recovery and the ongoing recovery of the American economy. There are undiscovered jewels in the people that we dismiss as unworthy. I learned from one of our shelter partners, Search, that homeless people have an average of an 8th grade education. I stand here before you as proof, education or not, that if with a good dose of hope and self-esteem, we can all become contributing members to the greatest society and the greatest nation on earth. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here today.